Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon for some of you. If resting makes you feel guilty, this live is going to be for you. Come on and tap the screen, share the live. Let's get this live up to 15K because I'm about to say something that nobody has said to you before growing up. But you know how I'm coming. Every time I'm coming with the hard-hitting facts, all right? Tapping is clapping in this room. Welcome in, Miss Angie. Happy Sunday. Happy to have you. Tap the screen, share the live. Don't forget to get your daily Hurt Me. And more importantly, don't forget to share this live because we don't gatekeep in this room. We are coming to help as many people as possible, okay? So if growing up you heard about survival mode, or maybe you didn't, because my family didn't talk about survival mode. My family, I don't even think they knew what survival mode was. And looking back, I can identify definitely operating from a sense of fear, a sense of scarcity, and a sense of ginormous push. Okay, so first off, let me be clear. I am not here to detour your thinking. I'm not here to change your thought process. I'm here to educate. Okay, I'm going to also clear your name and let you know that all those people that have told you that you're lazy, not true. All of those times you've thought to yourself, I'm not disciplined, not true. Also, I want to also let you know you are not broken. You're not broken, you're not crazy, you're none of that stuff, okay? It's not all in your head. This is real deal. This is something you are pulling, pushing, dragging. You're just trying to make it to the next day, okay? Yes, I'm here to affirm and let you know it's not just you. The world is going through it, and you are not going through it alone. What you feel is valid, it is real, and people just aren't talking about it. And the ones that are talking about it, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just can tell you what they feel. They can't tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is today, okay? So the truth is you're in survival mode. The reason that you're in survival mode is because your body has learned to stay on guard at all times. Your body has learned and adapted to this process of life that if anything goes wrong, I have to power through this. I don't have time to process this. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to grind harder. I'm going to sleep less. I'm going to eat less. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get through this because that's all we know. We know sacrifice for payoff. We know that we have to perform to earn. Hey, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Tapping is clapping in this room. Tap the screen, share the live. Don't forget to get your daily Heart Me. And more importantly, don't forget to share this live to more people that are struggling with their selves in survival mode, just trying to make it to the next day. Okay, I'm Coach VonMonique, and I'm your favorite identity repair coach, and I help high-achieving, hyper-independent women through the processes of getting free from their survival mode, their shame, and their self-sabotaging so that they can be safe being seen, successful, and more importantly, when they feel that peace, they will not feel guilty or turn it back into chaos. Okay? So, when you slow down, does your body actually relax? When you slow down, does your body actually relax? And I'm talking about everything just sinks. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is very unfortunate. I've experienced not the aches, but the cramps. Like, yes. So it's a beautiful thing when you do start to relax. Hello, beautiful. Welcome in. It is different when you start to relax and your body goes with you. While some of us still feel that tension, some of us still feel anxious, some of us also subscribe to being able to say, hey, I'm laying here, but everything is still wide awake. I am on high alert. I completely understand that. People think I'm lazy, but I'm feeling much better than them. Listen. I understand that. That is a part of the thing. That is a part of the race. Okay. Because honestly, some of us might not feel that, or some of us go to this part of we start panicking like something bad is about to happen because we're relaxing. Some of you automatically start doing like, oh shoot, I forgot something. Oh shoot, if I don't do this, they're going to be upset with me. Oh shoot. And you jump up on high alert. That's exactly what's happening. You automatically switch gears. You might be able to relax for a second, but then automatically your brain is like, but you forgot that. But what about that? How are they going to react to that? And now you're back up on your feet. You're back moving around and you haven't even got to go to sleep yet, huh? I hear that. She said, relax me, shit is gonna go down. And it's not. But that's what our programming has told us. That's what people have taught us. That is what we are used to. So automatically when we are ready to slow down, turn it down, it is like, okay, you know? Okay. So I'm about to explain this the simplest way I know how. The simplest way I know how. For those of you that are new in the room, we do talk about everything under the sun that is going to be about or leading you back to, thank you for the follow, survival mode and how to get out of it. Okay, stay tuned. Sure, I got you. Stay tuned. Patience is a virtue, young grasshopper. So I want you to think of it like this. Not feeling safe is a wound. Okay, so that's what this is. In survival mode, our nervous system does not feel safe. That is a wound all by itself. And then shame is a story that our brain tells us about that wound. So then we have a narrator that we never even asked to tell the story. And then survival mode comes in, and this is what our bodies does to cope. So then we got the wound, the shame, and the survival mode all working together at one time, keeping us stuck. So if we have this wound that we don't feel safe, that means no matter where we live, no matter who we talk to, no matter what situations or seasons, no matter the car, no matter the career, we don't feel safe. That is that uncertain feeling that you have, that feeling of uneasy, like, I don't know about it. Like when people ask, I like the job, but, and you just can't pinpoint it, it is that unsafety. When I got in trouble as a child, I would clean you kept yourself distracted. You were performing to stay safe. So you knew that in order to stay out of the chaos, to stay out of the limelight, to stay out of the trouble, you had to cross your T's and dot your I's, and that meant keeping everything spotless. I am the oldest daughter as well. I can identify that I've been in survival mode since I was 5. So once you do get that wound identified, okay, then shame comes in and it starts whispering in your ear. You don't deserve that. You can't have that. Yes. Understood, Kathy. You can't go here. You can't. Shame is the reason that you are stuck on autopilot, because every time you go for better or for more, shame comes in and tells you you're just going to mess it up like you did last time. You're just going to keep breaking down and doing it all over again. Remember last time you started this, you stopped and did it all over again. Shame is what keeps everyone in the loop. Tapping is clapping in this room. Live goal today is 15K. Where my tappers at? Words from your mom. Sometimes it is words from society. Sometimes it is just what you absorb. But nonetheless, shame is the driver to a lot of decision making. Thank you for the follows. Yep. And then once shame comes in and does its work, then your survival mode comes in, and that's where it starts to cope. That's where you just start to protect yourself by any means necessary. This is in your sleep. This is in your wake moments. This is on your journey throughout the day. This is how all three of these come together and they have their way with you. So basically, your body didn't feel safe at some point. And for some of you, you're identifying it as a childhood thing. For some of you, you're thinking it's a little bit older. Either way, it all comes together. And your brain is tired. It's trying to make sense, so it keeps working. Even when you have turned off, your brain is still trying to rationalize this and keep you safe. That's exactly what's happening. So when you go to sleep and you wake up and you feel like you haven't slept all night, it's because your brain was up working. Your nervous system was up working. When you wake up in the morning and you're burnt out and you haven't done a single thing yet, it's because you haven't fully rested, recharged, or powered up. You never powered down, babe. You never powered down. And some of you are like, I just need more melatonin. I just need a better, night's sleep. Maybe I got to go to bed earlier. No. Yes. It will bleed over into everything you have. The crash outs? The crash outs are products of the exhaustion that you're facing. Your fuse is this big. This big. And it's because you're so exhausted. And so your temperament is shorter. You don't have the sensory or the capacity to be patient like you normally would because you're not resting, babe. And it's not your fault. Let's clear that up. It's not your fault. You're not broken. You haven't done anything wrong. This is normal. Unfortunately, we've normalized it. When I rejected a job a couple of years ago, my brother told me that I think I'm more than everyone. Do you believe it? Because that's what it's about at the end of the day, is what we believe. It's about what we subscribe to. People can say anything they want to, and if you don't accept it as your truth, you're winning. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not questioning what I'm questioning is what we don't realize is the weights that we take onto our own backs are not because the person said it. It's because we actually believed what they said and we agree. I understand that. I've also been low on electrolytes as well as drinking, so now I'm just feeling my nervous system. So, moving on along here. Tapping is clapping in this room, y'all. Tap the screen, share the live. If you're here for the first time and you are learning something new, drop me in the chat. If you're new here for the first time, you're learning something new, drop me in the chat. Hey, Trinidad, welcome in. Yes. All right. You want to succeed, and that's all that matters. Other people outside. The thing is when we learn that we're the most important person in our world, a lot of things change for us. So when we wake up and we choose us, we choose our decisions, we choose our goals, we choose our dreams, and we choose our habits. That's when life happens. It's not what people think about us. It's not what people say about us. And it's not how people feel about us. They're entitled to their own thing. And it honestly has nothing to do with us. Nothing. Has nothing to do with us. That's their opinion. And a lot of times opinions are just projections. So when you decide that you want to be better, when you decide you want to do more, when you decide that you want your life to look a certain type of way, you will start to put that together for yourself, not based off of other people. Yes. Okay. So understanding what survival mode is and how it is dictating our lives, and then shame comes in and it has its way and does all the things. Our body has learned certain behaviors just to survive. So a lot of your decision making coming from survival, a lot of your fears, survival, your habits of eating, not sleeping, all these things, you got it. Okay, that's the whole cycle by itself, over and over again. So when you wake up in a panic and you jump out of that bed and you start running around, that is a trained habit. That is your fight or flight starting your day. So what shame is actually doing is shame is whispering one sentence on repeat. Okay, just one sentence, and it keeps repeating it over and over and over again. And what's happening is it doesn't have to actually repeat it again because you already subscribed to it the first time. How many of you have found yourself saying something is wrong with me, I'm crazy, or maybe I'm the only one? If you have said that, drop me in the chat. Something's wrong with me. Or I'm crazy every day. Me. Maybe it's just me. I'm the only one. This can't be normal. This can't be life. All these things this morning. Yes. This is what shame. That is the voice of shame. That is not your voice. That is not God's voice. That is not an ancestor's voice. That is shame. Do it. do it. Okay? So when your body believes it, because that's what's happening. Your body actually believes it. How many of you understand that your body doesn't believe anything that you don't say? Because your body is reacting to you. So when we hear life and death are in the power of the tongue, we don't understand that what we're speaking is doing more than just writing the words of our future. It is currently writing the instruction manual to our bodies. So when we actually say, I'm crazy, or something's wrong with me, our bodies are taking that in, and our bodies are reacting to that. So now it's staying alert. It's saying, don't mess this up. You don't need rest. You got to go harder. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep hustling. You got to grind harder. You got to prove yourself. You don't need help. You could do this all by yourself. You strong. You've been equipped for this. Some of us even go as far as trying to be like, I've come from a long, strong line of women. I got this. I don't need nobody. I don't need no friends. I don't need no family. I don't need nobody. I could be single forever. And more importantly, your body is saying, don't slow down. Why? Because someone in this room believes if they slow down, the world is going to fall apart. You have to be kinder to yourself. What you speak is what you will absorb. Your body is always listening. Your body is always listening. You're not listening to your body right now. You're getting your body to listen to you. Because every word you speak, someone is hearing it, whether it is yourself or the world. And the world is always going to be a mirror of how you see yourself. Once you program your body and then you learn your body, that's when you will be able to take that direction. But right now, your body is going to give you mixed signals because you're giving it mixed signals. I want to be healthy, but I don't want to be healthy. I want to be great, but I don't want to be great. I want to get out of survival mode, but I don't want to get out of survival mode. So if shame is the fuel and survival mode is the engine, as long as shame is talking, your body is going to stay on guard. Some of you have something that you are ashamed of, or that shame is driving and it is fueling your today. You need to shed it. We are all human. The moment we can accept that we are all humans and we all have human experiences, that is where the shame can't live. But for those of you that like to isolate and hide away in your shame, shame loves to grow and fuel in silence. I removed myself from that environment and it worked. But for how long? Because your nervous system will still stay with you. So if you were unsafe in your body in that environment and you left the environment, if you did not regulate your nervous system, if you did not give your nervous system and your overall body safety to be itself again, it is still with you. It just probably hasn't been activated. Congratulations. So for those of you that are still not convinced it's not in your head, for those of you that still think that you're crazy, and for some of you that are just looking for hope at the end of the tunnel, I want you to know it's not you. Science backs this up, okay? Chronic stress keeps cortisol levels high, which locks your body in fight or flight mode. Fight or flight mode is what all of you guys are probably operating in on a day-to-day battle. Every day you wake up and you are just powering through. You're not eating breakfast. You're starting with caffeine first thing in the morning. Some of you do not even take a breath before you jump out of that bed, stub your toe, and run out the door and start screaming and road raging in traffic because you are full flight or fight. So then shame research Dr. Brene Brown shows that shame leads to anxiety, isolation, and burnout. So the shame that you are harboring, the shame that you are incubating is what is really fueling your life right now. Every single thing you do is to be free of that shame. So what you're showing up and doing is you're trying to hide from it. You're trying to act like it doesn't exist. And so that's where the perfectionism comes in. That's where the people pleasing comes in. Because in your mind, as long as I keep being perfect Polly, no one will notice that I have this shame, or that I'm dealing with this battle, or that this is my story. And over 70% of high achieving women say that they're exhausted even when they're successful. So let this be for the woman in the room that is high achieving to the point to where she's got multiple degrees. She's the top salesperson in her industry. Maybe she is the most qualified in the room at all times. You are still battling with exhaustion. You are still battling with survival mode, and you are still hiding in your shame. It's another form of performance. Which mode should I be in if not survival? Peace. You should be in peace mode. Then don't do sales anymore. Do something else. The world is limitless. Do something else. All right? So if you're doing well but still tired, that's not failure. You're not failing. A lot of you are afraid of failing. It is a situation where, because failure has been created, since failure has another way of being created is shame. A lot of you are like, oh, I can't fail. I can't mess this up. I can't. Which is why some of you are afraid to switch careers, because you don't want to look like the person that's starting over. However, doing something different is a part of life. Nothing is forever. Nothing is forever. Okay? So failure is not the problem. That survival mode, that's a cute little resume. Yes, survival mode is a cute little resume, and it keeps you locked into what it wants you to believe, how it wants you to live, and what all the things. Okay? The one thing about survival mode is it's so exhausting. It's almost like that feeling of you being in neutral. You should do everything not slowly per se. What I would say is present. Be present. When you drink water, be present. That is how you're going to manage your thoughts. That's how you're going to come back into your own body. Instead of being on this autopilot, you will be able to now focus. Because that's the thing. A lot of people that have ADHD and they have survival mode, that means they're even more hyper vigilant. They're go, 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 go. As to where some people think that they have ADHD, they have not been diagnosed, but they have the same symptoms of survival mode. They're very similar. So those of us that wake up and our brains are already racing, for those of us that wake up and we're extremely tired, okay? Von, I'm finally learning to work smarter, not harder. What's that mean, girl? What does that mean? You begin to really dissect what's going on. So if you can be present and in the moment and not do squirrel, 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 that is a part of getting out of survival mode. Yes. It is a part of it. Okay. So now I'm about to lovingly read you guys for filth. Love you. Tapping the screen, sharing the live. Happy to have you all here. If you're new here, you've never seen my face before, I'm VonMonique. I'm your favorite identity repair coach, and I coach high-achieving, hyper-independent women get through the processes of their shame, survival mode, and guilt so that they can have peace without the guilt, and so that they can be safe being seen, okay? I'm batching content and creating more time in my day for family and projects. Good job. Perfect, okay? It is a beautiful thing. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So if this stings, it's because I see you. Not because I'm trying to drag you, but because I see you. So for those of you in the room that you stay busy so you don't have to feel, yeah, I'm talking to you. That means that you're constantly going out. That means you're constantly partying. That means you're constantly doing everything but actually taking the time to feel and process your feelings. I got you, reboot. I got you. Okay. If you are constantly scrolling on that phone, see, I work to distract. What is my version of high achieving? Is there multiple versions of high achieving? My definition of high achieving would be the person that is always super, super successful. Not saying that you're not supposed to be, but when I say overachieving, meaning that you're constantly finding new things to achieve so that no one actually knows what you're feeling, going through, or that you're human. So always striving for higher, not because you really want to, but as another way to grow and gain your visibility in this world. Another way to distract people from what you really don't want them to see. Most of the time, this happens with people that were overlooked as children, is what I'm noticing in my studies. I was high achieving because as a teen mom, and my family teaching me that they didn't think I needed guidance. So when I came to them at 17 and I'm like, I'm pregnant, no one asked any questions. No one got worried. No one got scared. Everyone kind of painted this picture like, oh, you'll figure it out. You got it. So automatically my brain goes into, oh, I can't let them down. I can't disappoint. So I have to keep going super hard. So that led to me graduating with a baby on my hip. Yes, this is something I already planned to do, but my brain at the time didn't catch up to it to be about me, but to show them. So I graduated, I worked all these jobs, I made sure the kids had everything. I went and I did all these, classes and all this stuff. Not because it was actually anything I wanted to do, but it was because I wanted to show them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you stay busy so you don't have to feel. A lot of you have unprocessed emotions, and that is adding to your survival mode. You not processing, and it's just backing up. It's just backing up. And you feel like if you stop moving, you will have to deal with the sensation of the tightness of the chest, the clenching of the jaws. And so you just keep moving. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So when you are avoiding reality and you are consistently on this running cycle of, I don't want to deal with it, I'll deal with it later. You try to get through it. Some of you guys don't even get through it. You try to forget about it and bury it, and that is not real. It is hurting you. Number two, you treat rest like a reward. Some of you think that you need to pencil it in or earn it. Oh, if I get all this list done today, I can take a nap. Oh, if I cook dinner by this time, then I can rest. Oh, you treat rest like a reward instead of knowing that you deserve rest. Everyone has to rest. So you say, I'll rest when everything is done. You need to get rest regardless. But some of you are afraid of it because you were raised that it meant you were lazy. Some of you feel like you can't rest because now you're not performing, you're not being productive. These are all the lies that we're told. It does. Survival mode becomes a luxury prison for most of you because you normalize it. Mm-hmm. So then you start to say, okay, this is you reasoning with yourself. This is you saying, okay, so if I get up on time and I do this, and this, and then I finish this, and this, by the time I'm done with this, by the end of the day, now I can get a good night's rest. Now I can sleep. Now I can chill. This is you rationalizing the crazy because we are all entitled to sleep. That is something that we have automatically. Tapping is clapping in this room. Where my tappers go? Tapping is clapping. Tap the screen, share the live. Okay, I'm on here for a good time, not a long time. If you're getting something out of this live today, let me know by sending those hearts up. I will be getting off of here shortly. I have a class to teach for my mentorship. Today, I'm going to be teaching my mentees about shame, where it starts, how to identify it, and how to get rid of it. Okay? You get out of survival mode by identifying the trauma that caused the damage, and then you create safety statements and regulate your nervous system. This is exactly how I explain it to my mentees in my mentorship, and I break it down even further, because it is not just about knowing what to do. It is about actually doing it and having the support while doing it, because there are going to be days that are really hard. There are going to be days that you get pushed back. There are going to be days when you go backwards. hey, I was just cruising up and down the block and I was like, where my people at? Where my people at? Okay. Number three, you do everything alone. You say, I got it, while you're drowning, suffocating. Eyes are burning from the tears that are welling up. Why? Because you keep saying, I don't need anybody. I don't care. I don't want to be a burden. But the real truth is you don't want them to think you're weak. You don't want them to think that you're incapable. You don't want them to think everything that they're not thinking. No one's thinking that, babe. You're being too hard on you. This last year taught me asking for help is only how you stay strong. Nothing is forever. We are not put on this planet to only need and rely on ourselves. If we only need and rely on ourselves, we're only as smart as the person in the room. Asking for help does not make you weak. It does not mean you're incapable. It does not mean that you don't have your shit together. Asking for help does not mean that you are a victim. Asking for help means that you're actually wise and you know when you have done all that you can do. People are more prone to help me because I always do everything I can before I actually ask for help. I will be doing damn near everything but selling my tail on the internet before I ask for help, because I need to know that I have exhausted all that I can do. Men do cry. And one of the worst things I ever told my son growing up is save your tears, because there will be worse things to cry about in the future. I wish I never told him that. Now he's 16 and I make sure I let him know, baby, feel your feels. Cry it out. The thing with that is having the safety around you to be able to experience that. And I feel like even as men and women, neither one of us were really given the safety to process our emotions or even taught that this is a normal action. Crying is not a form of weakness. It is a cleanse. I cry for numerous reasons. I'll cry because I'm angry. I'll cry because I'm overstimulated. I'll cry because I'm excited and happy. I'll cry because I just have an emotion overload and I don't know what else to do with it. Crying is not a definition of you being strong or weak. It is a thing of being human. I've been numb multiple times in my life, and that just means you're frozen. That means you have an overwhelming flow of emotions at one time and they don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anywhere to go. So once you start unpacking them, you will start to get your feelings back. Okay. Let it out. When the spirit hit, I'm a cry baby. I'm a cry. Okay. So for those of you that are terrified to ask for help, stop that. Because the very minute that someone calls and asks you for help, they're not second guessing it. They're not thinking they're weak and they're not thinking anything about it. The same way you would jump into action and help other people, let people help you as well. And stop slapping their hand away when they offer. Learning to rest. I didn't learn to rest. I actually had to learn to make my body feel safe, and then it adapted to rest. I literally had to give myself safety statements. I am safe to rest. I don't have anything else to do today. My day is done. It is okay. Because once you do that, then your body will just do what's naturally there for. Your body is naturally operating, in a trained environment. So once you strip that default, it's going to go back to its other default. All right. So number 3. We've already done number 3. You do everything alone. All right. So isolation keeps you in survival mode and it keeps it alive. Isolation keeps survival mode alive. So how many of you are operating in a survival setting of isolation? And I'm not talking about assigned isolation from the Lord. I'm talking about the type of isolation where you're like, I'm safer by myself. I don't like being around people right now. You know, the isolation where you feel like it is just easier to only entertain your own company. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what if I told you that that is keeping you in survival mode? I completely understand that, Mocha. I do. I isolated so bad when I was in survival mode, and my sister would always invite me out. People would invite me out, and I wouldn't go. And I would always say, "What am I celebrating? Struggle? What am I celebrating? Sacrifice?" Like now, I look back and I realize how not allowing myself outside time, smiling, laughing, entertainment. I honestly became the person that was punishing myself for what I was going through. Hey, Nicole. I literally got to a place where I was literally suffocating myself in day to day chores and expectations and responsibilities. And before I knew it, it was just downhill, 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 downhill. I'm doing well. How are you? So if you are in isolation, yes, I understand that my thing was I didn't like my weight. I was like, I'm not going outside like this. It's bad enough I gotta go to work. It's bad enough I gotta get online. It's bad enough. And I kept finding an excuse to isolate and to stay stuck in my own thoughts, feelings, and objections. I love that. I love that. That's a beautiful thing. So I kept staying stuck. Staying in isolation will continue to keep you in survival mode. You need to get outside. Of course, I got you. You need to be able to get outside. There's money upstairs. Good morning, coach, or good afternoon. All right. Number 4, you keep waking up rushing. Some of y'all are time blind, and it's not on purpose. It is literally just that your body is overwhelmed to the point to where you do not do anything on time. It's living paycheck to paycheck, and selling for jobs is that survival mode. That is actually a part of it, but also the settling for jobs. That is also a part of fear of maybe being seen, fear of taking a chance, and self-sabotage. So you got a whole little spiral going on there. Living paycheck to paycheck is definitely going to be one of the things that keep you in survival mode. It's a leak in the system. How do you rest your mind from the trauma that has endured from toxic relationships? You actually have to heal the trauma. You have to heal the trauma. You have to go back and you have to actually address what it is, because 9 times out of 10, that trauma didn't just start in that relationship. It's just something that did not get taken care of before the relationship, and now it's familiar and it came back. Hello, welcome in. So when it comes to your mind, always going back to the problem and then giving yourself that comfort. For some people, they like pressure, so giving yourself a big hug or weighted blankets. For some of you, it is box breathing. There's a few different tools and techniques that you can do, but more importantly, when it comes to dealing with trauma, you cannot skip steps. You cannot skip steps. You most definitely have to address the elephant in the room, and that's what a lot of you like to avoid and keep busy to avoid. Because a lot of times we attract the same situations over and over again. It just has a different face. So you probably have attracted the same relationships, the same friendships, and the same situationships because of what you haven't healed. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you all for joining. Tapping the screen, sharing the live goal today is going to be 20K. Okay. Don't forget to get your daily heart meet. And more importantly, share this live out to 30 people. Yes, if not, you cannot, if you, listen, you have to think of yourself as the foundation. If your foundation is unhealthy, you will not attract healthy things. You can never attract higher than the frequency that you are actually on. Yes, I got you, Vera. Thank you. I'm glad it helped. I'm glad you applied it. Okay. I'm glad you applied it. because now look at the results of it. Your morning is the foundation of everything you do, not just what you eat, not just what you think, and not just what you say, but actually the habits that you actually take on. During those moments of my life that I really was locked in, mornings did not start with my phone. They started with me focusing on me and me only. I'm talking about prayer, meditation, checking in with myself, water, not caffeine. Also, getting up and reading every morning. That's where the money is. That's where the money is. Okay? So I want you to know that how you start is going to be so impactful of how the rest of your day goes. I do daily water and OJ, period. Getting into now, here's the other thing I want you all to understand too. When you're starting your mornings off in peace and not pressure, I want you to also know that you need to also give yourself the safety to do so, because you do not want to just be giving gratitude and it's not even landing. It's just something that has become robotic and routine for you. Your body will adjust to it, and eventually it just be like, God, I thank you for another day, and I thank you for the kids' health. Like, no, you really need it to matter. You need to say it with conviction, and it needs to stick. So for some of you, giving yourselves that safety and saying, hey, I am safe being grateful. I am safe expressing gratitude. I am safe in my prayers. Some of y'all aren't even safe in prayers because something has happened that made you unsafe. Hey, Stella. So all of these things do work together, and a lot of people aren't going to talk about it. I've had moments where I was praying and I felt like my prayer wasn't going no higher than the ceiling. Hey God, what, you didn't get that call? No, the reception was bad. Oh, okay. I had to actually fix that. It's not just the fact that you're praying. It is the fact that where's your energy when you're praying? What is your intention when you're praying? If you're giving a dry prayer and you expecting a wet out, come on now. Safety matters. So for some of you that are experiencing real hard trauma, where you're experiencing real survival mode, where you're burnt out and you're just like, listen, you have to go back and you have to gain that safety to know that you are safe in prayer. You are safe in your wants, your needs, all of that. Some of you guys can't even feel safe doing that. I'm so trapped. Even at this point, I found out he has been in a different world. I'm going to try that again. I am so trapped even at this apartment. I found out he has been in a different world. Well, I want you to know that you're not trapped anywhere. We only stay where we want to be. And so when you're ready to go, nothing will stop you from making that move. Nothing will stop you from making that move. If you guys are ready for number 4, put a number. Oh, no, sorry, 5. Put 5 in the chat. 5 to stay alive. Thank you for joining. Tapping the screen, sharing the live. Yes. Welcome in. So number 5, you think stress means productivity. Some of you think that you perform very well under pressure. You think that that's the only way you can accomplish things is if the pressure is high and you have hit your deadline. Not only is that a form of procrastination, but you are putting your body under an extreme amount of stress. You are putting your body under an extreme amount of stress. So calm feels lazy to you. And some of you are praying for peace. I want to be peaceful. Please, God, I just, can I get a peace of mind? Can I get a piece of something? Meanwhile, anytime he grants you the access to your peace, you find a way to go and chase chaos. Some of y'all go and pick fight with your baby daddies. Some of y'all go and start arguments with your friends. Some of y'all go out and scroll the social media and find the most raunchiest thing ever, the disrespectful. Why? Because chaos and pressure feel much more familiar than peace and calm. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for joining. Tap the screen, share the live. Welcome in, everybody. I hope your Sunday is treating you well. I had to tell one of my mentees in my mentorship, you cannot expect anything out of what you continue to welcome. If you say you want peace, but the moment peace falls upon you and you got to go out and remind yourself of the chaos that you are saying you don't want, you have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. If you want peace, you can't keep going out and fraternizing in the streets with the chaos and the goons. That's not where peace lives. Of course, she didn't like that because she's more comfortable and at this point very much so addicted to that. She's addicted to this. The goons don't come in and take a rest off and rub their feet together and read a book. No, the goons are in the street. The goons are out there living their life. They're okay causing and wreaking havoc. What qualifies you to mentor anyone? What degree do you have? The degree of life. Who, first and foremost, the fact that I have lived life and I've overcome so many things, the fact that I have helped many of my friends and complete strangers, some are in this live, that's what qualifies me to mentor anyone. That's what qualifies me to coach anyone. Does anyone else in this room feel like I'm underqualified? Does anyone else in this room feel like I'm underqualified? Besides the person in the room that is just here and living in reality most of the time. Oh, girl, I'm fine. I'm fine. No one can take my qualifications away from me. Why? Because I know who I am. And that is a beautiful thing, because before, that person could have had me shook. That person could have changed everything for me. But you can't change who I am, what I've been through, and what I've helped people with. Period. Sometimes people just show their hand and they don't realize it. They think that they're showing someone else's and they're really not. Okay? So when you, again, prime example, hello, happy Sunday. Prime example of when we want to live in chaos and not in peace. Period. My year is going beautifully. Thank you. So stress feels useful, period. When we don't have anything else going on in our lives and we have to go and try to shake up someone else's, it's very forthtelling, okay? Number six, you overthink instead of listening to your body. Some of you constantly overthink everything, even down to what you want to wear, what you want to eat, where you want to go. Period. Period. So at the end of the day, you overthink everything, including the what your body is telling you. So you explain your feelings instead of actually feeling them. You over-explain your feelings, you over-explain your no's, you over-explain your how-tos. People that already rock with you, they don't need explanation. They're just going to be there. They're just going to be there. They already believe you. They already care about you. They're already rocking. But because you overthink, because you feel like you have to over-explain. I remember I used to over-explain everything because I was in a relationship and he used to tell me everything I would say was an excuse. It was bullshit. He would tell me that I always had something as to why I didn't do the thing I was supposed to do. And so I started to over-explain because I'm like, no, I need you to know that this is what it is. This is where I am. And so then at that point in my life, I got to a point to where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to over-explain everything so that people know exactly who I am and what it is. Now I'm in a new relationship and he's like, people that actually want to understand you, they will. You don't need to explain yourself. You're very easy to understand. You communicate very well. If they don't understand you, they're not going to understand you if you continue to keep digging deeper, trying to sell something that no one's buying. Some of you guys over-explain your no's. I hate to tell you this, but they stopped listening after you said no. It never works. Yeah, a person that wants to hear you will hear you. Just like the jackass in the comments, they didn't come in to hear anything. They came in to try to tear something apart. It's pointless. You're not getting anywhere. Nope. I don't waste my time using my anytime minutes on someone that has already made a decision in their minds. So you need to stop the overthinking. Don't over explain. It just is what it is. That is a part of creating strong boundaries. Okay? Number 7, you keep proving your worth. You keep proving your worth. My anytime minutes. You keep proving your worth to feel valuable when you're already that. You're already valuable. So why do you have to prove it? The problem is the people that you're trying to prove it to, they already know that you're a big deal. They already know that you're dope in real life. They just hope you don't discover it, because once you discover it, then you will get to a point to where no's will happen more often. I'm not coming will have a lot to do with it. And more importantly, you will be standing 10 toes behind you and no longer being super available to them. They are hoping, wishing, and praying that you continue to not know who you are, to stay burnt out, to stay exhausted. The people that you are performing for to show how valuable you are, they already know it. And so they're hoping you never find out or you never accept it, because once you do, it's over for them. No more will you continue to show up for them and sacrifice yourself. No more will you continue to lose sleep for them, but not for yourself. You will start to eat better, sleep better, do you better, getting to know you. All of your anytime minutes will be on the most important person in your life, and it's you. So they're hoping, wishing, and praying that you keep performing, because while you're performing, you're distracted from actually knowing. They want you to sacrifice yourself so that they can continue to reap the benefits, so that they can continue to be the most important person in your life. They're not. They are not. You are. And they're hoping, wishing, and praying that you never actually see it, because once you do, it's over for them. The background dancer you have made yourself comfortable being for them, they will now be that for you. And they don't want that. Yes, they don't want that. They don't want you to actually be the lead singer. They know you hit the notes. They know you know the moves. They know you got all the vibe. They don't want you to know that you have that. She's the only thing I'm sacrificing is my fupa. I'm done with it. Their emotional support animal, their personal chef, their go-to for the drama. You were the pull-up. You were everything for these people. They don't want you to know that you are necessary. They want you to stay thinking that you need them to feel complete, to feel whole, to feel, loved and liked. They don't want you to know that you are actually the whole foundation of their chaos. Okay? You are valuable. You deserve to take up space. You're not too loud. You're not too extra. You're not crazy. You're none of that shit. You are exactly who and where and what you're supposed to be. They just keep praying you don't see it. Every day they're like, whew, she don't see it. Another day. Got it. Whew. Thank God she don't see I'm just using her for her money. You the first person they call when shit get wicked. You the first person they call, not because you are so reliable, not because they know how much you love them, not because they think you have a good heart, but because they know you're gonna say yes, even if that means putting you in a bad situation. Hence, keeping you in survival mode. Number 8, you ignore basic needs. This is going back to what we were just talking about. You could be right in the middle of eating and your friend call you, oh my God, girl, I'm sitting in the closet and this man's woman just pulled up on me. She's trying to fight me. You gonna leave your favorite meal sitting on that table and you gonna go to her aid. Not because she wrong, but because that's your friend. You're not gonna leave her in a bad situation. You know she not scrappy, you are. So you gonna drop everything and you gonna run to her aid, and that's ignoring your basic needs. You know you ain't slept in 2 days because you actually had some family stuff going on, but you still dropped everything and ran to her need. Mm. You dehydrated, but yet you gave your last bottle of water to someone else, ignoring your basic needs. All just to be able to say, I'm that girl. Oh, this is what happens when we identify as the strong friend, the fixer, the go-to. We got to keep up this image, right? All just to prove ourselves, all just to stay valuable, all just to stay a part of something that we're not supposed to be a part of. Your body thinks danger is near. As soon as you do that, you are training your body to not trust you, to think that it is in danger. Some of you guys have a freaking eating problem, not because of a disorder per se, but because now your body thinks that eating is dangerous because of your habits. Some of you need to go back and give safety statements. I am safe drinking water. I am safe giving myself basic needs. This goes to not being able to rest. I believe you. This is about you. If you guys haven't noticed, this is about you. Survival mode exit has nothing to do with the world. It has nothing to do with the external parts of it. It is all about you, how you see you, how you respond to you, and how you care for you. You have to not just say it. You have to believe it. The way you believe it is actually by knowing that there are receipts behind it. A lot of you guys don't use your receipts enough for me. When I need to tell myself you're qualified to get out of this, I have to go back and think of all the other things I got myself out of. Those are receipts. That is proof. That is proof. There is always going to be a paper trail through this life. I just overcame homelessness. There is a receipt of that. There's a there is always going to be proof in everything you do. Yes, you have to look for that. Yes. You're going to overcome it. You're going to overcome it because what you do is you focus on the solution and not the problem. I'm going to be honest, it was a string of things that landed me in the homelessness. Pride, people pleasing, self-sabotaging, survival mode, lack of safety in my body. There were a few things that landed me there. But what did I do when it happened? I didn't become a victim. I didn't become a victim. I didn't become, oh, woe is me. I didn't call everybody and ask them for all their money and their homes and everything. I actually just wrote it out. Why? Because it was a lesson I needed to learn. It was a part of my testimony, and it's becoming a part of my story for other women. And it wasn't so much of me listening to other people. This is my story. So my story is I grew up with a mom that was very, very, very protective. And so until my mom passed away 6 years ago, I was under her. So everything I should have experienced earlier in life, I wasn't able to do because I just was so under the influence of my mom and her keeping me safe and her wants for me. And so when my mom passed away 6 years ago and it was me and my sister's like, hey, I want to live by myself with my wife now and my kid. I'm like, okay, cool. And so not fighting or resisting, I knew I really couldn't afford because I didn't prepare accordingly. I didn't prepare. This is accountability and awareness. I did not prepare. So when my mom passed away and my sister wanted to separate, I'm like, cool, I'm not going to fight you on. I just got to figure it out. So I moved out. I got a place with me and my kids, and I was rocking and rolling. However, along the way, I'm starting to see all the things that I was not taught, all of the things I was not prepared with, all of the things I did not know. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to go find it. Hey, Britt, I'm going to go find it. So I go looking around, I'm doing research, and I'm asking questions, I'm doing all the things. And so from that place to the next place, I kind of had a better understanding of life and how that looked and what I was going to go through, all that. But it still kind of was like a residue of me finding my way. And so when you're not sure of your identity, because I didn't have an identity, the only me I knew was the me I knew when my mom was alive. Once she passed, that changed everything. I never created an identity for myself. I never did anything that I wanted to do for myself. So losing my mom, losing myself, losing my home, like all these different things. So leading all the way up to recently, Thanksgiving of 2025, I was mentally preparing myself to move out of my apartment, having nowhere to go and no one to really be like cushion me. But I didn't want a cushion. I've had a cushion my whole life. I had to go through this. I needed to prove to myself no matter what I got myself into, I can get myself out of. So what did I do? I focused on the solution, not the problem. I prayed a lot. I gave gratitude a lot. I kept a positive attitude. And from that moment forward, I only, by the grace of God, experienced homelessness for 2 weeks. For a lot of you, that's like not a lot of time, but 2 weeks is a lot when you have never been in that zone before. 2 weeks is a lot when that was your biggest fear. 2 weeks is a lot when the world is still seeing you show up like nothing is going crazy in your life and you didn't know. I had no idea it was only going to be 2 weeks. I was trying to mentally prepare me and my family for it to be the rest of the year. I was mentally trying to prepare everybody and everything because we had already lost so much. I was actually in a hotel. And that in itself was a blessing because when I left that apartment, I didn't have a penny. When I moved out of that apartment. All I had was a truck that my aunt helped me with, a storage that a friend helped me with. 2 weeks is short, but it's still mentally hard. I will never discount anyone going through homelessness, whether it's for a week, a day, or whatever, because mentally, what goes on in their minds by far worse than actually going through the pits. Mentally, that is something that is hard. Especially like for me and my family going through so many losses, so many changes. I grew up in a very, very, very stable environment with my mom. We didn't move around a whole lot. But so going through this, it shook me a lot. So I will never discredit anyone that goes through it the way they did. And like I said, I didn't know it was only going to be 2 weeks. I was really preparing. I'm like, okay, at least by February, which is when me and my daughter's birthday is, I got to have made something shake. I got to have done something. It was literally just my positive attitude, I believe, me having a good, strong support system, me being able to stay on course of the thing that actually got me through that. But now I have that receipt. Now I can actually say I'm qualified to speak on this because I got myself through it. These are the tools I used. These are the resources. This is a mindset that I had. I wasn't broken. I wasn't a victim. And it wasn't my fault that the world was falling apart. It was my fault that my world was falling apart, not the whole world. Okay? I don't know if that helped somebody or if that gave some perspective, but you have the receipts you need. You have to start using them. Yeah, I never had to do a whole lot for myself. I have always been surrounded by people that love to do things for me because I don't ask for things. But this was my one moment to prove that I can, in fact, do it for myself. And for a lot of people, they had experienced that early. For some of us, it's later in life. That was shameful for me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going through this at this part of my life. No, everybody's journey is different. And the most important part is that now I know that I am capable of doing this. Okay? Let that be someone's story. Okay? Homelessness is hard, whether it is in your car, whether it's in a shelter. Some people have actually had to be, post to post, bench to bench. It is hard. It is very uncomfortable, but it is not impossible to get out of. It is not impossible to get out of, okay? So, number 9, you minimize your pain. You minimize your pain, saying things like it wasn't that bad, other people had it worse, or, it is what it is. These are things. It tests your mind, it tests your body, it will test your spirituality if you let it. Homelessness will test you. It will even put into perspective your friends and your family. Mm-hmm. 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 It will minimize people will make you really do it. Yes, absolutely. You just like, oh. I don't like instability either. And I will tell you, being homeless for that moment of time, yes, it was short, but it felt like the lesson of the century. And one thing it made me want more than anything was for me to create the stability that my mom had provided to me and my babies, so that I never have to experience that again. Never have to experience that again. Okay? So, do not minimize your pain. Excuse me. Do not minimize your pain. Your pain is valid. Your pain is real. Your pain is yours alone. Okay? If something makes you uncomfortable, something makes you feel a type of way, that is your pain. It is okay to have that. It is okay. The last but not least, number 10, you don't let calm last. You don't let it last. When you feel calm, when you feel peace, when you feel connection, when you feel all of the things that you have prayed, cried, and begged for, you don't let it last. You will find a way to sabotage it. When things finally feel peaceful, you go right back to the chaos. You search for it. You crave it. Addiction to chaos is real. Just like you can be addicted to coffee, the same way you can be addicted to partying, the same way you can be addicted to people. Addiction is not just external. It can be chaos. What do you mean? What if they need the karma? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's because peace is unfamiliar and chaos has been something that you have been a part of. You subscribe to for a very long time. But which one of those dragged you the most? Which one of those dragged you the most? I'm finally coming out of that. It's hard adapting to being yep, it is. It is. Like if I were to sign them up on Facebook Marketplace for free cows, their phones are blowing up. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. As funny as that is my type of petty. That is my type of petty. You have to know that when you insert yourself and getting your lick back, you are now setting yourself up for that to come back to you. The universe doesn't register that as, that was a get back. Okay, check that off my list. Now I don't have to do it. Now you are subscribing to now karma coming your way. The universe doesn't say, oh, take that off my list. She's already done it. No, now you're putting yourself on the list. Yes. What do you mean how? You have just did something. For every action, there's a reaction. And for every reaction, there's a consequence. So every time you put yourself out there, when they go low and you decide to go to hell, you are no better than them. It's not about you being the bigger person. It's about you choosing a side. Are you going to let the universe deal with it? Or are you gonna take it in your own hands? Karma can come through many of ways. It can come through situations. It can come through other people. Sometimes it can come through a pop tire. Karma can do whatever it wants to do. Karma will always do its biggest one too than me. However, once you subscribe, how do you know that? You don't know that. If you're still around enough, but here's the thing. One thing I wish that karma did was come with receipts. I wish every time a karma was paid, a receipt came like, oh, this is, what we did to so-and-so. You don't know if it doesn't come or not. You have no idea if it comes or not because you are looking for it to come in a certain way. It can come any way it wants to. It can come at any time it wants to. It could come through any situation or scenario it wants to. It is not your responsibility to monitor that person to see where karma hits. Listen, be watching people like, ooh, you live in nothing but karma. Like you wasting your anytime minutes trying to see when karma sets in for them. Live your life. It can. Karma can hit other people in your family. Karma can hit opportunities. Karma can hit anywhere. But again, do not get too consumed in in their karma, okay? Yeah, I want my karmic receipts because I need to know that you got hit. Let me stop. That's not nice. So here's the part that nobody ever explains. Your survival mode is still alive because shame is talking. Shame is talking, and that is why you are still in survival. So shame is telling you do more, be better, try harder, don't rest yet. And your body is listening. This was my experience going into the hotel. Do more. I'm losing sleep. I'm exhausted. I'm short-circuited. I'm getting on. I was getting on live every morning in that hotel, getting on live every night in that hotel. Nobody ever knew. My clients didn't know. I'm still going to the salon. I'm still doing all these things. The whole time no, you're fine. You're fine. I was crying before or crying after. I'm leaning on my friends. I'm asking for prayer. I'm asking for support because although I didn't feel broken, I didn't feel defeated, I still had no idea what was next for me. But I still showed up because shame wasn't going to defeat me. I wasn't going to hide behind that. Even come down here and talk about it now, my friends are like, are you ready to talk about that? I'm like, no one can shame me for going through that lesson that changed my life. This is literally where everything changed for me. One of my closest friends asked me, she said, friend, what did you pray? I said, what do you mean? She said, what did you pray? This does not make sense to me. Knowing the speed in which you went through on this journey, what did you pray? And I said, I told God, I said, I'll do whatever. I will coach whatever. I will tell them whatever. I will show them whatever. As long as I can get from up under survival mode. I cannot function this way. It's heavy. I can't operate. I can't think. I need out of this. And the thing he took away was that apartment. He could have made a way for me to pay that rent. He could have made a way for me to stay there. He could have made a way for all that to happen. But instead, that was the one thing that was keeping me blocked. You have to process it. You have to process it. Getting through trauma is not about you getting revenge on the people that caused it. If that's the case, do you know? Ooh, Jesus. It is about processing what you went through and being able to feel those feelings, process those feelings, and actually go through it. Whether you journal it, whether you talk about it, whether you hum through it, whatever you do, it is being able to actually sit in it and not be distracted and not run from it. Mm-hmm. 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 So it's about you being so intentional with you that the outside world can't break you. You need to be around people that will not let you sit there too long. You need to be around people that will help pull you out and say, "Hey, this is this is too much." You need to be able to transition through, but you still have to go through it. That is a lot of the reason why some people refuse to heal it because they are afraid they will stay there. But it is up to you. It is clear. It is absolutely up to you. You find someone. Going through what I went through, if I did not have the friends that I have, my friends, I do have local friends, don't get me wrong, and they were there, but my internet friends, they were the ones that were, daily. Hey, how's your mental? Hey, how you feeling? Hey, I met them on this app. I met them being a part of a community. Happy Sunday, Nisha. Okay. So these tools and communities are out there. It is about you getting out of your own bubble. It is about you getting out and actually connecting with other individuals. And it is scary for those of us that have a trust issue. It is scary for those of us that are used to shrinking and hiding and running, but it is necessary. Okay? I wouldn't have made it through this without them and God. Okay? So I have a class to teach, but this is what I'm going to do. I do have a class coming up on February the 7th. It is about regulation, getting out of survival mode. It is a 2-hour class. The link is on my profile. I would love to have you guys there. I'm going to be deep diving into getting out of survival mode, deep diving the cause of it. And more importantly, I'm going to be giving you tips and tools to regulate your nervous system so that when you do get out of survival mode, you don't snap back into it like a tight rubber band. Okay, this is a 2-hour class and we're going to be unpacking this thing together. Like I said, it is going to be February the 7th. Get your seats now. I want to find some friends sometimes. Do so. Absolutely do so. Getting a part of communities, talking to people, like-minded individuals. It is very important. Okay, before I run away for the morning or for the early afternoon, does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you all so much for joining me today. Does anyone have any questions for me? Discord does help. I have my Shame Detox Bootcamp support group on Discord. So yes, absolutely. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. That's what I love doing, is coming on here, providing value, telling my story. You're welcome. Gee, I have to pay for the Discord. How much? I don't have a paid Discord right now. I have a mentorship that has a Discord, but I could possibly start a Discord. Just for people that are trying to heal, get out of survival mode, and they just want the Discord group. I could do that. Okay. If you have not followed me, but you want to lock in, do so. Turn your notifications on. How is the one-on-one different from the mentorship group? What should I do? The one-on-one is just me and you. The mentorship is a group of us. That is the difference. The mentorship is a group coaching session Sundays. I'm actually getting ready to get off here and go do that now. As to where the one-on-one session is just me and you. I didn't know if you know, but if you have super fans, you can connect your super fans to your Discord. You know what's really interesting? I did read about that, but I haven't done it yet. Thanks, Sassy. I look forward to it. So I just had a graduating class last 2 Sundays ago. And so now we are actually starting from the very, very, very top. So when I had 10, now I'm down to 3. I like to keep it very small, very intimate, because I don't like people not feeling heard. I don't like people not being seen. And because I'm a coach in another program, our classes have grown so big that we need more coaches to be able to help people through. And so I keep mine small because right now it's just me. It's just me. And so I keep it about 10, 15. So I'm still taking people, but once it is full, it is full. Okay? Then they will have to wait for the next round. It is a 16-week program in the mentorship right now. Survived attempt, eternal. Okay, thanks. You're welcome. Did you just start talking on live, then it popped off? Like, how did you start this? Hello. So I actually started out as just a hairstylist, and I was doing hair content. And then I met a friend. She wasn't a friend at the time. She was a coach. And she was talking about making $10,000 in 2 days. And I was like, who don't want that? So I come in thinking that I'm just going to get all these money-making tips and tools. But what it actually was her healing a part of me that I was avoiding. Meeting her, I knew I had low self-esteem. Terrible. And because of my low self-esteem, I undercharged. I didn't advocate for myself. I was overthinking. I was people-pleasing, sabotaging everything. It was the worst. And so coming into her program and learning to make $10,000 in 2 days, she was teaching me, like, in order for you to make this money, your mindset has to be there. Your belief system has to be there. You have to actually do the work behind the scenes. And I kept trying to skip steps. Most of us do. When it comes to making money, when it comes to getting out of our own way, we always want to skip steps. We want to get to the good part. And so through the course of getting coached, and she's teaching me how to make content, clearly, she's teaching me the 4x4 method, all these different things. It got to a point to where she's like, girl, you do know you are so much more than hair, right? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you've taught me to stop, not being able to trust myself. You've helped me make over $1 million in my business. You've helped me do all these things because of what you know and who you are. You are a coach. And I'm like, she's like, you're a coach, damn it. You're pissing me off. You're a coach. And so I'm like, well, what do I coach? She's like, you coach a lot, but to start out, you are an inner work coach. You helped me to be able to trust myself and my decisions. You helped me, and you weren't forceful. You have a certain style to you. And so then hearing that, I'm like, okay, well, let's see. So I had to sit with it for a little bit. And I was like, what is the one thing that women like me struggle with? And it was self-sabotage. And so I hosted a class in July. Heal What's Blocking Your Hustle was the name of the class. And it was to help women to overcome self-sabotage. And with that being said, what became was the girls were like, hey, we get to see you again next week. And I'm like, y'all want that? So from that point on, from July to the first class, mid-July, I had to start pushing that class. And the only way to really do that is through going live. But I had to build up the safety in going live, because at first it was very uncomfortable. Every time I got ready to go live, I would have tomorrow syndrome. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll say it tomorrow. From that point on, I was comfortable showing up daily, but then it was like, okay, now what am I talking about? How do I get people to engage with me? How do I get all these things? So it was a process. And from that point on, I started consistently going live. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I was still inconsistent all the way till I got to about October, November, December. That is when I officially started going live every day. And that's when people actually started looking for me. That's when people actually started showing up. That's when people started knowing my name, and I started identifying names and all these things. And that's when I started realizing, like, people really do want to talk about survival mode. People want to talk about self-sabotage. People want to talk about these things. What I learned in going live is people want to talk about these things. No one's talking about them. And so once I got that comfortability, once I got that safety, once I got that understanding, nothing. It was like clockwork. I also got to a point where I was like, let me help people go live. And I tried to throw a class, but just with everything going on, I didn't promote it well. But I do have a class, Stay Broke or Go Live. And it's to help people to go live, because a lot of people want to. They just haven't had the safety, and they feel like they need more knowledge. They feel like they need more help. They feel like they need all this stuff. So yeah, that's my life story in a nutshell. That is my life story in a nutshell. Isolation is another great topic where people are suffering silently. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, it was a lot. I had to retrain my language because I had to understand this is a child's app. So there are a lot of words I can't say. I had to learn, like, the techniques and the lingos, and I had to get strong for trolls, because trolls, they be there. The trolls be trolling. Okay. So yes, if I had people on my lives, I would stay. But if I didn't, I would end my lives. I did that in the very beginning, and then I realized that there's a sweet spot after like 45 minutes. If you can push through for 45 minutes, that's when it gets to jumping. Yes. All right. Is there a way to replay this video, or when it ends, is that it? I will go and put it on my YT. I have yesterday's to put up there and today, or maybe I have 2 to load up there today. So I will put this over there for you on the YT channel. It should be linked on my profile. But I have to go teach my mentorship right now. So I will be back later on. You guys go have the day that you create, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.